All right. Okay, ladies and gents, here we are on a Sunday. A quick stream to say hello to everybody. Hope you're all feeling well. Hope you're having a good time as we get prepared for another week getting kicked off. We just did our Sunday stream for the last hour for the patrons and stuff. And I said, you know what? The microphone is feeling a little bit too warm and fuzzy right now. I think we're going to go live public for about a half hour. So here we are. So for all of you, the monthly subscribers, that you're getting a little bit of overtime right now, but it just felt too good. A nice Sunday surprise. Hello. Good to see you. So what's up, some chick? So today I'm going to be doing just a little bit more improv with the several chat rooms. I threw it live on Twitter, I threw it live on Rumble, and I threw it live on YouTube. So I'm just going to be hanging out with you guys for a little bit. We'll take some calls. Want to see what the hell you're thinking and feeling. 914-200-0269. Call in. Frank, what happened to your hair? I don't know. That's the same thing that Aurora asks me. I say when Aurora, she comes in and she has these beautiful flowing brunette curls and she's just like, so glamorous with her hair and stuff. And I said, and she'll have like a clip in or something. I'll say, Aurora, can I use your clip? Can I put it in my hair? And she goes, Daddy, you don't have no hair. And I said, well, where'd it go? She goes, I don't know. Maybe we could buy some. I said, where do we buy hair? She goes, and then she says, we can buy red hair or blue hair. She has this, obviously she's working out all of her pronunciation. But Aurora has a very, very strong Southern accent for some reason. I don't know what happened there. So she has a Southern accent, bail, like she gets sharp. Bail. And anyway, that's where we are today. So how you feeling? How you doing? It's one of those days where it's raining like the Dickens. It's raining cats and dogs over here. And I'm just going to read what you guys are saying. Take some calls. Homesick, COVID for my first time. Is it? What are you feeling, Donna Sarnes? Your first time with COVID. What up, Frank and Frankly? What's going on, Bob? What's up, General Zero? Hello. Magavelli. How you guys doing? I know that there was a little bit of moving and shaking on the Donald Trump front over the weekend. He was in New York. I know, obviously, you can't get around Alex Jones getting reinstated on Twitter. That's pretty fun. Though I would love to see all of the lifetime bans on Twitter removed. That would be nice. Instead of the sensationalism of one person at a time, as long as that one person has enough support by the general public to make it into a trending issue. So there's that. But one way or another, it's pretty cool, and you like the ripples and that it causes, and it's really interesting to observe. Of course, still really happy that Owen Schroyer got out of prison, and that's all behind him. Going to be really interesting to see what he does. I'm sure he's going to blow up a lot more lately. He's got something planned with Tucker Carlson in the next couple of days. So yeah, let's take some calls. 914-200-0269. It's a Sunday. It's a fun day. Hello, everybody on Rumble as well. Looping you all in for some unscheduled fun. Here we go. Let's take a gander. We have 210. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Frank. This is Hector from San Antonio.
Hector from San Antonio. How you feeling?
Well, I wanted to follow up to your earlier segment this week on Flight 370. I know you guys mentioned there was some other footage of a similar orb that had like leveled a building, but I saw another video with a similar orb a few years back, and it seemed to have flown right by like a SpaceX rocket before it launched. And they were saying it's a video of like a UFO blowing up a rocket, and the rocket did explode, and it was like a little black orb that just went by real fast. I don't know if anybody else saw the video.
I think you're talking about the Lebanon video, right?
Well, you guys mentioned the Lebanon video on the show that night, but I just mentioned that, I saw a SpaceX rocket that had blown up on the tarmac before launch, and there was a similar little blur that went by it just before it launched or initiated the launch.
Well, send,
I don't know
you know what? If you can find a link to that, send it to me. If you're in the Gilded, I don't know if you're in the Gilded or not, but if you can just tag me real quick, maybe I can throw it up on screen before I get off here. Is that all?
This was years ago when I saw it. I'll look for it again if I can. I'll try to email it to you real quick.
All right, man.
It's been some years since I've seen it.
Well, it will still in the next couple of minutes. See if you can find it and email it to me. And if not, just send it whenever you do find it, and I'll take a look. Thank you for the call.
Cool. Thanks, Rick.
All right. We're trying to take quick calls tonight, everybody. Well, I don't know. We'll at least throw your premise out there, and then we'll take it from there. But here's the other thing. The Lebanon the building explosion, that big explosion that we were talking about a few years ago, that wasn't like a UFO thing. What we had seen in all of the multiple angles of that explosion was there was some object that had come into frame, at least what it appeared to be. It looked like it was going end over end toward the building in the moments before there was a detonation that was, it was enormous, if you remember that. It looked like almost like a football that had been kicked through a goalpost. It was end over end, so it wasn't like there was a flyby. It almost looked like something had been tossed. And at the time, people were wondering whether or not that is what initiated the detonation, the explosion. So there's that. What else you guys have? You have any thoughts? Throw it into the chat room. I'd love to see it. Today, I'm actually able to spend a little bit more time looking at the chat room. I don't have anything else prepared for you. Just wanted to keep going because the microphone just felt good, and we're keeping up. Hey, Frank, can I get a shout out? Says Ryan Swayze. Of course, Mr. Swayze. Of course. I hope you're having a good one, my friend. All right, let's see here. Dilly is friends with Owen. Try and get Dilly to connect you with him. Like I said, I feel like I'm a half a degree of separation from a lot of different people. And it takes a little bit of time for me to pull the trigger on asking for a friend to tap somebody else on the shoulder. I want to make sure I have a really great idea or something like that. And I don't want it to be, I got a real problem with not wanting to impose on people. I feel like I'm imposing. And that's probably prevented me from getting some things to develop a little quicker than they have in the painstaking way that I tend to have done, otherwise. So I'll definitely look into that. Well, the other thing there too is Jay Dyer. Jay Dyer hosts the fourth hour for Alex on Fridays. That's been like a long-standing gig for a while now. And Jay is one of the few people who, when he's talking in a panel with Alex Jones and they're talking, he's one of the few people who, when he's talking and laying something out, Alex will sit back and listen intently and will actually hold himself back from comment. That's one thing I've noticed, because I tend to, I really like keeping up with Jay's work. I think it's really valuable, and he's become a good friend over the years. But he's told me, Frank, he says it to me time and time again, and it's my own fault. Frank, pick a topic, and come on the fourth hour with me, and let's do this. So my whole thing is I got to pick something that I think I can dish on for about an hour. Maybe I can go and get in touch with Jay and say, hey, listen, why not we do a deep dive on the NPC phenomenon? I think that's I think that's something that would be worthy of it. To do a deep dive on the NPC phenomenon. Understanding the NPC phenomenon is a huge part of the overall, assessing of the battlefield that we're in right now, because it's a dive into the mindset of the person that lives right next to us potentially, or what's happening to people, or what we are susceptible ourselves. Have you? Okay, here's a great question, and it's one that requires a little bit of honest self-reflection and the ability to be a little self-effacing and honest about things. Have you noticed NPC behavior in yourself, and you were just like, oh, whoa, that has no basis in reality, and why am I reacting this way? Like, did you have presence of mind to be able to catch yourself acting like an NPC? That's what I would like to know. Because I know that there's the big problem here is that there's not a lot of self-awareness out there, and people just tend to blindly trust, and they've also just been groomed and brainwashed. But at the same time, there's got to be, what is a red pill moment? What is a red pill moment if it's not something that kind of throws cold water in your face and makes you say, oh, whoa, what am I missing? What is everybody missing? And how has this affected me personally? So yeah, that'd be a pretty interesting dive. All right. Let's see here. Peace, love, and happiness says Rocket Fuel on Rumble. I'm just bouncing between Rumble and YouTube right now. See how everybody's doing. Let's see here. How long has this been on? Just walked in on my wife watching it. Was stacking firewood, sneaking in some garden prep before the rain. Well, the rain's already here, so all of my prepping and all of my work has already been done. I've got my second load of laundry in the wash. Lauren is going to go pick up Aurora from my sister-in-law's, and we got a couple hours until we have to go and have a good time for my father-in-law's birthday. That was a couple of days ago. But they're celebrating by decorating gingerbread houses. As I said during the Sunday stream for the patrons, prefabricated gingerbread houses. If you're going to do that, hey, everybody, it's a gingerbread night. It's some Christmas fun. Come by and we'll crack open a couple of bottles of wine, maybe some scotch, whatever, and we'll do some gingerbread housing. You got to buy prefabricated gingerbread housing, or else everybody's going to spend the first 3 hours just trying to get the structure to stand. Nobody has the time for this kind of engineering. Say, Frank, it's just icing and graham crackers. Yeah, well, I don't care. I'd rather just get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's decorate this thing. And that's what they're doing. I think they have the prefabricated houses. That's better. All right, let's go to 917. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Frank, can I give you my theory about the NPCs?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
So I think that somehow they figured out how to have people born into this world with not with a severed soul, but without a soul, just a body. And we used to have them before, but not as much as now. Now it's like all these people that are, remember when there was an article that came out that said like around half the people don't have an internal voice?
Yes.
I think it's the same thing. I think like if a body is born without a soul, you don't have the same self-awareness, you don't have the same emotion, you don't have that internal voice that keeps you not being an NPC.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's just back up to something you had already said. You said they had to figure out how to pretty much create a phenomenon in where we have empty vessels. And I have to imagine empty vessels where that vessel could be filled with something else that is preferable to the controllers, whoever they are. My question has always been, what is the process of creating bodies without an inhabiting soul? That's why I was wondering about is it in gravitating toward is anybody that is conceived by normal human ways, which means just copulation between a man and a woman. Anybody out? Is there a way that somebody conceived naturally could ever be without a soul? And if not, is that what all of the mechanized reproduction stories are all about? The laboratory creation, where it's just mechanically combining sperm with ovum, and is there something missing from that union in a natural state that gives you a body and gives you normal biological function, but lacks that fully human spark, like the Krasensteins, for example? So, what do you think?
Well, I think that 100% in terms of having these test tube babies, 100% all of those would be without this human spark, without a soul. But I also think that there are ways that you can actually, you'll have a child born into without a soul, either born right away without a soul, or they snuff out the soul right when close to birth.
How do you do that though?
You inject 18 vaccines into a newborn, maybe have insane amount of drugs and fake food that the parents are eating that may do something that creates a baby that doesn't get that spark. It could be. The thing is, I think that we always had people that were born without souls, but I think before it used to be like, let's say, from anywhere from 10 to 20%, to now we're at like 50%.
Well, that makes me, and thanks for the call, my friend. It makes me think about this. Now, the last thing you just said about being able to snuff things out. Now you say, well, who can snuff out a soul that's created divinely? Who could snuff that out? It's one thing to find some kind of a technocratic end around that actually produces bodies with senses, with consciousness that can, learn from its surround, whatever, sentiency. But there's something else not there. And then there's another thing of saying, well, this child was conceived naturally. This child had a soul, and it was snuffed out, not killed. Not you're not like actually killing a person. Because even by killing a person, by executing them, you don't snuff out their soul. You've killed their body. Their soul's been released. But now there's this. You would think that there's no authority for any kind of earthly entity or group. Where the hell does anybody get an authority for preserving the body of a person but snuffing out their soul? What even tool is there for that? And our last caller, it sounded like Poopy, said, well, maybe there's some, medical things there. Maybe there's some injections or whatever that can, and it reminded me of those early reports that were getting out when AstraZeneca was doing all of their so-called trials. And of course, some people said it was true. Other people said it's a complete bunk. But it got out that some people had said that they had their connection to God severed. They said, I can't feel God. They've killed God inside of me. I can't feel anything. And so that's the first thing I thought about. Whether that was true or not, I don't know. But that's the only thing I can think of. The one way that you're able to, sever them from God. What are we taking on? All right. I thought you didn't get it, Frank. Oh no, I got. Sorry. Every time Poopy calls in, it's from a different number, it seems. So, but I know his voice, and I get his references. Toward the end, I said it has to be Poopy. Anyway, there he is. Frank, I grew up in Rye, and brother lives in your town. Any thoughts on Hochul's overreach on Rule 213, giving her Cuomo's old ability to now come into your home if they think you've had any underlying, I guess, I don't know, a sickness, an illness? I spoke about that a little bit with Megan Fox the other night, last Monday. And it's just one of those things where every time something like this pops up, and it's always a Democrat that's doing it, they want to be able to make sure that somebody who has not been elected by any metric in any way, they're all appointments, that some appointment somewhere, some political appointee is able to create arbitrary rules based on arbitrary medical emergency declarations that will give them the power to go and set up shop inside your home, to make you stay inside your home under house arrest, or find you temporary housing that is clearly a camp, but that they don't want you to call it a camp because camps make you think of Nazi Germany. Every time that somebody proposes this, I get in touch with my state senator. My current state senator is Shelley Mayer. She's worthless, like most of them are. Get in touch with them and say, hey, listen, I have been trying. Can somebody out there please make a statement about this? What does Miss Mayer say about this particular thing? And what they always get back to me is things like, oh, well, it's just in committee. It doesn't have a co-sponsor. It needs a co-sponsor in the Senate to be able to blah, 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 blah. That's for other things where every couple of months, every 6 to 8 months, there's always a, get out of New York quick. They're going to start a camp. As if getting out of New York really makes anything, it makes a difference right now, how bad it all is. As if New York is an island. But going from there, I always say, well, hey, I don't care if there's not a sponsor. And it's the same thing with this here, too. I don't care if there isn't a sponsor. I don't care if it's still in committee. The fact is that there are people, especially in my senator's caucus, New York State Democrats, there are people in your caucus who continue to play footsie with the worst with the ideas that violate civil liberties in the worst way possible. What the hell are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? Why are you not at least voicing your opposition to something so blatantly anti-human? And you get the runaround. Because ultimately nobody wants to be cut off from the money to keep campaigning, to remain a senator forever. They don't want to be cut off from their herd, anything like that. George Latimer, over here. Now, my current representative to the House is the guy who pulled the fire alarm. What's his name? I don't know. They're all disposable idiots. The guy who pulled the fire alarm at Capitol Hill, he is my current representative. George Latimer, who is the current Westchester County executive, who's been there since 2018, who turned a knowingly blind eye to federal human trafficking that was taking place right there in Westchester County Airport. Thousands upon thousands of people being flown in overnight until somebody noticed them getting bused to Costco to then be dispersed around the state. This guy is running for to replace Jamal Bowman, I think. Oh yeah, Bowman. Yeah, there's some. Thank you guys in the chat room. He's now trying to replace Bowman. You know, this is a guy, and why? Because Bowman refused to condemn Hamas. So this is the craziness we have. No, everybody is so out of their minds, and they're always so off the mark. And I think they think that this is just going to go on forever, that the grift is going to go on forever when we're clearly dancing on the edge of oblivion here. And so many other things have already fallen away. You know, you hit a lot of ledges on the way down. And so you hit a lot of branches on the way down. And sometimes you hit a branch and you kind of just lay there for a second until that branch breaks. It's not like one day you wake up and everything we knew 25 years ago is gone all at once. So it is possible to say that, we're on the ledge here. It's just you keep hitting new ledges and you're on your descent. And I think that they think that this is just going to go on forever. It's going to have no impact on them. I really do believe that Mask of the Red Death comparison holds up across the board. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. So in the meantime, I mean, it's always been my plan to eventually get out of New York. But for now, I mean, it's just my studio. There's just too much here. Too much family. And eventually we got to figure it out. Now, my hope was to go to some place like a West Tennessee. But now I don't know if the elevation is high enough to survive a pole flip that Ben Davidson was talking about last Wednesday. So that's the crazy part. Is the elevation high enough to be okay with the pole flip? And then that's just the beginning of it, finding a place to go. Then you have to be so well trained to be able to live with no electricity, live off the land. I mean, that's nuts. That's nuts. Let's see here. It's a great airport, though. Westchester County, it's a very convenient airport. I wish it flew to more places. I'll. Then again, I haven't been in a plane since 2019. I don't know. Tennessee got hit by tornadoes last night. I saw it. And that's the one thing that we don't get up here. Let's see. Corey McManus. I haven't seen Bald Frank since he was on Timcast. Really? I did an entire episode. Not only with my bald head, but dressed to the nines. I had just come back from a wake. That was in August. It was the night that we had Matt from Cultivate Elevate on, who is coming back in January, by the way. We're going to have Matt from Cultivate Elevate coming back on in January. I think we're going to talk about mercury, the substance, and all of that. Let's see. He should get tattoos on his head. Yes. I'm going to get two. It's going to be like the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers. Are they still in San Diego now? Or are they in I don't know. Everybody moves in California. Yeah, like the San Diego Chargers, I'm going to get two lightning bolts on one side of my head and the other. Uh-oh. I hear something. I hear a little voice. You know who that is? It's that little voice. Let's get up. I feel a presence getting closer. Just keep watching that doorknob behind me and warn me if somebody's behind me, please, because I feel like I'm going to get attacked at any moment. Let's take another call. Here we go. 269, you're on the air. Who's this?
Hey, Frank. This is Derek.
What's going on, Derek? How you been?
Pretty good. I just want to let you know I've got tattoos all over my head, and I shave my head too because bad genetics. Unfortunately, I used to have a mohawk back in the 1900s in high school, and use Knox gelatin to spike it up and everything. But now that I've been shaving, it's like I feel like, you know what? I've been shaving my head for like 20 some years. It's just natural. I can't let it grow past like so much.
Oh, dude, do you like Bic? Do you Bic shave it, or do you have like one of those Freebirds? I have a Freebird.
Well, I mean, what's the Freebird is like a close face shaver.
It's like the 5 blades at once, the circular blades.
Oh no, I've got one of those 2 rows of coils, and I'll use that. Sometimes I'll just shave it down on like 0 setting, and then use six blade razor. Actually 7, because they got that one for like the mustache line or whatever.
Gotcha.
But I use Pantene Pro V. Works the best for shaving with, because it prevents razor bumps. And it really is, it like conditioner, Pantene Pro V conditioner works best for shaving your head and keeps the razor bumps and stuff down. And then coconut oil for an aftershave, because that's microbial, antibacterial, so it like saves from anything, springing up. But I was thinking about your what you stated about the airports and people getting shuffled off at Costco and everything. Did you catch what little Dickie Durbin said the other day about how he thinks that we should, if the military are having trouble filling the ranks and it's like the all-time low for recruiting, he actually suggested that we give all of the illegal immigrants, the military-age men that are here now.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
It's like, what? No, that's no good.
Yep.
That is no good.
Oh, yeah.
And in part to the, the NPC or how do you say it? A non-active player or whatever?
Non-player character.
Yeah, non-player character. I almost wonder, like, okay, so the only times I've ever felt like that is like in my dreams. And even then in my dreams are more, just as, if not more real than they are in this natural existing realm. And I feel like maybe, that's why people die in their sleep, is because they're so connected to their dreamscape, the REM, that when they die in their REM, they actually like die in real life. It was so traumatic that they feel like maybe they're dead now. I had a nightmare the other night. I was laying in bed and it was a shootout with like alphabet agencies, and I had a Tommy gun because Tommy guns are cool, and my local armory in town here has one for sale for like $1,600. I'm like, oh my God, that's a bucket list for anybody that wants to buy a gun. Tommy gun is right there with 1911, and in my nightmare, I'm sitting there, I'm in a shootout with the alphabet agencies. And they ended up, there was a couple people there that didn't want to have to kill. I like, look, man, just get the fuck, get out of here.
Well, I'll tell you this, Derek. The one thing you should not do is what? Oh, hold on. I'll call you right back. What are you doing?
I'm not taking a rest.
What do you mean you're not taking a rest?
I'm not taking a rest.
Come here.
I can't hang out now.
What do you mean?
Because I have to take a rest.
You have to take a rest because you're tired, and we have a lot more fun to have today.
I don't want to have more fun.
You don't want to have more fun?
No.
What are you talking about? Why not? Why are you so sad? You just want to stay home?
I don't.
So then you should go take a rest.
Okay. I try my best.
You try your best to take a rest?
Mm-hmm.
It's very simple. Okay. So go now go upstairs and be nice with mommy, okay? Say hi.
Hi.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
What else do you want to say?
I really hope you have a good Christmas Eve.
Whose birthday is it on Christmas?
I think it's Santa's birthday.
No. Whose birthday is it on Christmas?
Charlie.
It's not Charlie's birthday.
Jesus.
Jeez, you got that down the third try? Your cousin and Santa and Jesus? Anyway, tell everybody you see you later and you're going to go for a rest.
I'm going for a rest.
Okay, go do that. Yeah, because guess what? There's so much more to do later. Ugh. And then you can come back. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a little bit of a situation. So what I'm going to do is, Aurora, go out to Mommy. She has her Santa dress on. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. All right. All right. Okay. So, anyway. So to Derek out there who just called in, I would say, never link the buying of a Tommy gun with your dreams of having to fight alphabet agencies. But I understand that, and that's interesting about the whole NPC thing about being alive in one world and sleeping in the other, dying in one world and having that translate to some other kind of death, symbolic or otherwise, in the other. I get that. That's pretty interesting. It actually goes hand in hand with a lot of things I always felt about the dream world anyway. Boy, Aurora was tired. I really hope she goes to sleep. She's been really fighting naps lately, and she needs it though. It's not like she has extended battery life. If she was fine to just go the whole day, then I would say, all right, don't nap. We can play for an hour. We can read books for an hour, whatever the hell. But she's exhausted. She obviously still needs the nap. And of course, she sits in my lap. Every other day, she's talking about Jesus' birthday. And I go and ask her, and the first thing she says, it's Santa. What are you talking about? Making me look like a heel. All right. That was the last time Frank was seen. All right, that's all I'm going to do today. I just wanted to be on for a little bit and see you all and chill out. Let's see. Oh, here you go. Here's one from Kim Hurd. Frank, you're going to love this one. I haven't eaten fast food for years now. Kim is on Rumble right now. Being that McDonald's has been called out for adding human and infant DNA into their meat, which has been swept away. So now they are Oh, she's still typing, I guess. I thought that was one complete thought. All right, well, that's that. Anyway, all for today. More bonus streams like this on Sundays and other days. Just been getting inundated with stuff, but we're coming up for air, and I want to do more of these, especially late night call-in shows. We'll talk to you tomorrow. It's a new week, Monday, and also tonight on QuiteFrankly.tv we have Frank's Picks, which, as I said before, at least for the night owl, the overnight shift, there is going to be a rerun of the Coast to Coast episode. I forget from when that they go into detail about how TWA Flight 800 was the result of military missile launch. It was an AI misfire that that honestly we have not even really had a lot of time to be indignant about because it's been so far in the past. But you got to take a look at that because TWA 800 came up when we were talking to Ashton Forbes on Thursday. So that'll be it for tonight. I hope you all enjoy. That starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time on quitefrankly.tv. Just press play, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a good one. Email me in the meantime. Become a sponsor, and all the best to you.